Have you ever wondered why some people seem to stay lean, sharp, and energetic well into their 60s and beyond, while others struggle with stubborn fat, brain fog, or chronic inflammation even in their 40s? The secret often isn't in the gym or the pharmacy. It's on their plate. And today, you're about to find out why. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're diving into 3 incredibly powerful evidence-backed foods that don't just support your metabolism, they rewire it. These aren't diet fads or superfood hype. We're talking about real, accessible foods that influence fat burning, inflammation, brain health, hormone balance, and more, down to the cellular level. Let's begin. When people think about burning fat, they usually imagine high-intensity workouts or restrictive eating plans. But true fat burning starts with your body's ability to oxidize fatty acids efficiently, and that means supporting your mitochondria and improving insulin sensitivity. At the same time, reducing chronic inflammation is key because it silently drives nearly every major disease, from heart disease and diabetes to brain degeneration and belly fat. That brings us to one of the most underrated yet powerful metabolic foods available: cold water fatty fish like salmon, sardines, anchovies, mackerel, and herring. These fish are rich in long-chain omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA. These aren't just healthy fats. They become part of your cell membranes, influencing how your cells communicate, respond to stress, and manage inflammation. When EPA and DHA are incorporated into your cell membranes, they help maintain cellular flexibility and protect against oxidative damage. This translates to better insulin signaling, stronger immune responses, and more efficient fat burning. Unlike plant-based omega-3s like ALA from flax or chia, which convert poorly in the body, EPA and DHA from fish are bioavailable and ready to go to work. Studies show that omega-3s enhance mitochondrial efficiency. That means you produce more clean energy from fat and glucose, and generate fewer harmful byproducts like reactive oxygen species. EPA also activates transcription factors called PPARs, which upregulate fat-burning genes and downregulate genes that promote fat storage, especially important for those dealing with insulin resistance or metabolic syndrome. Clinical trials also show that omega-3s improve insulin sensitivity in muscle and liver tissue, reduce fat in organs like the liver and pancreas, and improve signaling in the insulin pathway. This makes them crucial not only for weight management, but also for preventing diabetes. And when it comes to inflammation, omega-3s are in a league of their own. They reduce the production of pro-inflammatory molecules like prostaglandins and leukotrienes, while boosting the creation of resolvins and protectins, compounds that actively resolve inflammation and promote healing. A massive meta-analysis published in JAMA Network Open found that omega-3 supplementation significantly lowers inflammatory markers like CRP, IL-6, and TNF-alpha. Even just a small reduction in CRP can slash your risk of cardiovascular events by up to 40%. Speaking of heart health, omega-3s also improve your lipid profile, not just lowering triglycerides, but also improving LDL particle size, ApoB, and oxidized LDL. The landmark REDUCE-IT trial proved that high-dose EPA reduced cardiovascular events, even when LDL cholesterol levels stayed the same. The magic wasn't in lowering cholesterol, it was in reducing inflammation, stabilizing arterial plaques, and improving endothelial function. That's right. Omega-3s improve the health of your endothelium, the thin lining inside your blood vessels. This helps restore nitric oxide function, improve blood flow, and reduce vascular stiffness. And their benefits extend to the brain. DHA makes up about 30 to 40% of the fats in your brain's cell membranes. It's essential for forming new connections, protecting against cognitive decline, and improving communication between neurons. In early Alzheimer's and cognitive decline, DHA has been shown to slow memory loss and preserve function, especially when introduced early. Mood matters too. EPA, in particular, has been shown to reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety, especially in people with elevated inflammation. A double-blind, placebo-controlled study in translational psychiatry showed that patients with major depressive disorder had significant symptom improvement with EPA compared to placebo. So how much do you need? For general health, 2 to 3 servings of fatty fish per week provides about 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA. For higher inflammation or triglycerides, therapeutic doses of 3,000 to 4,000 milligrams are often used, typically from high-quality fish oil supplements. Just make sure they're third-party tested for purity and oxidation. Worried about mercury? Stick with smaller fish like sardines, anchovies, and wild salmon. They contain high levels of omega-3s with minimal toxin exposure. Now, let's talk about cruciferous vegetables: broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, kale, and cabbage. Often seen as just fiber and vitamins, they actually contain unique compounds that activate your body's detox, antioxidant, and anti-inflammatory pathways at the genetic level. These vegetables are rich in glucosinolates. When chewed or chopped, enzymes convert them into sulforaphane, a compound that turns on NRF2, a master switch that controls over 200 genes related to detoxification, inflammation control, and antioxidant defense. Sulforaphane is what's called a hormetic compound. It stresses the body just enough to trigger healing and defense. NRF2 activation leads to increased glutathione, superoxide dismutase, and catalase, your body's own antioxidants. This isn't speculation. A study in clinical epigenetics confirmed that sulforaphane increases expression of these genes, enhancing your body's internal defenses. Crucifers also impact hormone health. Compounds like indole-3-carbinol, found in broccoli and cabbage, are converted into DAM in the stomach. DIM helps your liver detox estrogen more efficiently, pushing it down a less carcinogenic pathway. This can help reduce hormone-driven fat gain and lower the risk of estrogen-sensitive cancers like breast and prostate. Studies in the Journal of Nutrition show that increased crucifer intake improves estrogen metabolism and reduces cancer risk in both men and women. But that's not all. The fiber and polyphenols in these vegetables feed good gut bacteria, especially those that produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. These compounds reduce gut inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, and even regulate appetite hormones like GLP-1 and PYY. One study in Cell Metabolism found that a diet rich in crucifers lowered post-meal blood sugar and insulin levels, independent of weight loss. And a study in Nutrition Research showed daily broccoli consumption reduced inflammatory markers like CRP and IL-6 in overweight adults. Crucifers also support phase 2 detoxification in the liver, critical for clearing out environmental toxins and endocrine disruptors. This helps restore metabolic flexibility and protect the liver from fat accumulation. In fact, people with fatty liver disease have seen measurable improvements in liver enzymes and liver fat after increasing crucifer intake, without changing total calories. The cancer prevention angle is hard to ignore. Regular crucifer intake is linked to lower rates of colon, breast, bladder, and prostate cancers. Sulforaphane even targets cancer stem cells, selectively impairing them while sparing normal tissue. And for sustainable fat loss, crucifers help reset the metabolic systems behind stubborn fat. They lower inflammation, improve insulin and leptin sensitivity, and help balance estrogen. They're not aggressive, they're consistent. That's why they work. You don't need to overhaul your life. Just start adding 1 to 2 servings of cruciferous veggies daily. For therapeutic purposes, aim for 3 to 5, including raw sprouts and cooked options. Add mustard seed powder to cooked veggies to enhance sulforaphane production. Now, let's wrap with the third metabolic powerhouse, the avocado. It may be trendy, but the science behind avocado is real. This fruit is loaded with monounsaturated fats, especially oleic acid, which improves insulin sensitivity, supports hormone production, and fuels fat metabolism. It also contains potassium, magnesium, soluble fiber, and antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin. Unlike processed fats, Avocado fat works in harmony with your hormones. It reduces post-meal blood sugar spikes, slows digestion, and keeps you feeling full longer. One study found that eating 1 avocado per day reduced belly fat and improved insulin sensitivity in women without requiring weight loss or calorie cutting. Its soluble fiber feeds gut bacteria, improves bowel regularity, and promotes the growth of SCFA-producing microbes. And when combined with cruciferous vegetables, avocado enhances the absorption of fat-soluble antioxidants like sulforaphane and carotenoids. Avocados also lower LDL particle number and oxidized LDL, both predictors of heart disease. They support healthy blood vessels and reduce oxidative stress. In other words, they don't just make meals creamy, they make your metabolism more efficient. In summary, these 3 foods, cold water fatty fish, cruciferous vegetables, and avocados, don't just nourish you. They speak the language of your cells. They influence genetic expression, hormone function, brain chemistry, gut health, and long-term disease resistance. They're not about trends or restriction. They're about alignment, giving your body what it recognizes, responds to, and thrives on. And in a world full of metabolic stressors, that kind of support isn't optional anymore. It's essential. So the next time you're planning a meal, don't ask, "Is this healthy?" Ask instead, "Is this going to help me function better, think clearer, and feel stronger in the decades to come?" Because food isn't just fuel, it's information. And the right foods send the right signals. Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Your body is always listening. Feed it well.